This is David Shiner of Total Social Media with our first of what will be a series of updates on what is new in SharePoint 2010, which is coming out on the market pretty much as we speak. Today's cast is going to focus mainly on the user interface and on some of the changes that are being made in the user interface, which we think are going to be very significant, First of all, just broadly speaking, these fall under the fact that Microsoft has overhauled the code that's being generated inside the web pages. Those of us who've been working with SharePoint over the years, and particularly those who've had occasion to observe the code that's generated in the pages, will no doubt be aware that it is, to say the least, non-standard HTML, and to say something maybe more accurate, a bit messy. Well, that's all gone now in 2010. Microsoft has bought into standards, and SharePoint is going to be outputting standards compliant code. And this is going to have a number of implications working across the marketplace. First of all, in the area of accessibility, something that was really not possible with SharePoint 2007. It was possible, but it was definitely not easy. Now, pretty much out of the box, SharePoint 2010 is going to generate code that is accessible to WCAG 2.0 AAA AA status. Sorry, I'm consulting my notes to keep track of these facts. So it's going to be generating compliant code out of the box. If you want to enhance that, that's going to be a lot easier because of another new feature which involves master pages. Again, those of us who have spent time working with SharePoint master pages will be familiar with their many quirks and with the difficulty of operating with them. That's largely gone. It's going to be much easier to customize master pages, and that of course means also extending them out to meet additional accessibility standards. I'm sure on occasion generated code is going to give you some difficulties, but that brings you into some other areas where you can customize, and this is an area that I'm very heavily focused on because it happens to dovetail with an expertise of mine, and that is the fact that because the code is now standards compliant, because it's going to be operating heavily in div tags and those kinds of HTML elements, Microsoft has now finally, after many years, bought completely into the DOM. They are now issuing a JavaScript API. They're leveraging techniques such as AJAX to make it, well, among other things, to improve network traffic. I mean, you're not going to have postbacks coming out of the interface and back to the server the way you used to, but that means as a developer we're going to be able to take advantage of the many opportunities that an AJAX type of AJAX in the interface allows us. This is something that I personally have been doing for a long time with other projects and other products and other software implementations. So using AJAX in SharePoint is going to allow, I believe, an explosion of creativity and of the usability of the interface. And I think that's one of the critical themes that underlies all of this, is that the interface is going to become much more usable. Now this is something that a lot of people might say, well, the interface is very usable now, and they'd be right to say that. Because at the moment it is very easy for your average, fairly unsophisticated user to go into a SharePoint site, and assuming that the people who've organized it have done at least a moderately decent job of presenting the information, that person is going to be running around doing the things they need to do with very little training overhead. But that said, the things that they're able to do and that we're able to do for them, that we're able to provide for them, are rather limited. You can do a lot of things, obviously, with web parts. You can do a lot of things in the back end. You can code just about anything you want all over the place, but Once you get into the out-of-the-box interface and into any need to customize that or deal with that, you start having a lot of difficulties, as we know. So the new ability to take advantage of, first of all, standards compliant and compliance and better code. Second of all, more easily editable templates, and third of all, techniques such as Ajax and other things that enhance the ability to do things inside the user interface are going to offer developers a way to make what we would call a powerful interface. So we've had a simple interface, but one that limited a lot of the scope of what you could do. Now we have an interface that can be just as simple, but can be powerful, that can offer real-time data access, for example. So as a user's filling in a form, values are being pulled from various places in real time, updates are happening in real time, and that kind of thing. So in terms of user interface, again, just to sum up, SharePoint 2010 is now what I would call a powerful UI. Okay, so it's still just as simple out of the box as it ever was, and in fact, for those that might be worrying about migrating from 2007, we don't see that as a problem. The out-of-the-box page is going to maintain the look and feel of the 2007 page. So migrations and upgrades they'll be projects, but they're not going to be arduous. And of course, a lot of the work is more likely, in my view, to be done by people taking advantage of things that they always wanted to do and couldn't, or suddenly think become possible. So SharePoint 2010, in terms of the UI, a massive step forward over 2007, and I would say even back to 2003. That concludes this episode, but we will be back with more as we continue to work our way through the 2010 offering. Thank you.